Welcome back to the channel, everybody. So we just had an insane clip drop over on the Team House podcast. If you guys don't know who that is, go check them out. They're awesome. I've done their podcast before, but they had on former Navy SEAL Eric Deming, who, if you've been following this feud at all with him and his accusations against Jocko recently, there's a bunch of different videos on it for, you know, his negligence as a leader and how he got people killed and how he basically enabled Chris Kyle to kill civilians, all this shit, right? Again, I'm not here to take sides on this. I just am shocked and in awe of this clip that we're gonna watch, guys. He straight up accuses Jocko of actual murder here. So I have a feeling this clip is going to have some serious and massive repercussions and fallouts as things go along. Okay, so for me personally, I just did a video a couple weeks ago about how Navy SEALs, my biggest criticism is that they're always out in the public space trashing each other, calling each other war criminals, saying their stories aren't true to each other, right? Excuse me. And you know, I don't get it, right? And everybody, all the SEAL suckers out there, like, you know, gave me such a hard time. No, they don't, this, that. Watch this clip, guys. This is wild, okay? So we're gonna put it up on the screen. We're gonna watch it together. And then I'm going to sort of dissect this story, okay? Because I've done these exact type of operations dozens of times that he's talking about. There's a lot in this story that makes me raise my eyebrows, okay? So again, I wasn't there. None of us were there. But I can tell you, accusing someone of what he's accusing him is wild, okay? So let's go ahead, watch the video together, and we'll talk about it.
Guys, he gets shamed into going out. And of course he doesn't go out on a day like that. He goes on a helo insertion at night. And so when you guys know, you land, you got a brownout situation, and you're waiting for the dust to settle, see who you've alerted. You're not landing on the X. You're meeting up with somebody, a source, CIA, a source that's going to take you to the target where the bad guys are at. So the dust settles. Our source is there, and Jocko sees a guy with a slung AK, and he shoots him in the face, basically. Well, that just happens to be our source. That we're basically supposed to take us on target. So that's what happens, on his first thing. That's because that's why he got the term a murderous soul, because he shot somebody because he said he was going to do it, not that he was a threat, not that he was somebody who was just trying to make a name for himself.
All right. So, guys, that's a lot. That is a lot to unpack, okay? Let's walk through it step by step through that whole story, okay? And really get what the accusations actually are, okay? So right out the gate, if you notice there, he mentions that Jocko got basically pressured into finally going out on an operation, and he would only do it at nighttime. What he's calling Jocko a coward. He's insinuating that, Jocko is only willing to go out at nighttime when we have the advantage, right? And in reality, nighttime is a lot less scary in combat for us than the daytime in a lot of senses, okay? So, sure, whatever, maybe that's the case. I don't know. Again, I'm not taking sides here. I'm just gonna tell you what doesn't make sense to this story to me personally, okay? So he talks about how there's a big brownout where they land. Very common thing. We land out in open fields away from the target. And yes, when the helicopter lands in that Afghan dust, it's kind of like moon dust, shoots up, huge clouds, you can't see anything. Helicopter takes off, okay? Excuse me, I'm drinking my Truly. And guys, the dust, after the helicopter has left, the dust settles pretty fast, okay? You can actually see things pretty quick after the helicopter's rotors have actually, after the rotor wash is actually done washing you out, you can see pretty quick. He acknowledges here the brownout has cleared out, okay? So there is no justification that this was accidental in the idea of like, oh, someone was maneuvering on our position and we couldn't tell who they were because of the brownout, okay? He's specifically saying that brownout's gone, okay? So that's no longer an excuse. All right, he then says that the source was there. They had already sort of met the source, okay? He's the source that they're meeting with. So what he's talking about here, a lot of our targets are action through intel through human sources, okay? I can't get too much into how that works, but we'll get intel that maybe a high-value target or somebody is on the ground in that village, and that's how we'll action that target through that human resource. Now, going and actually like landing a helicopter right off target and then meeting with the source and then having the source walk you into the village, tactically, that doesn't make any sense, okay? Most of the time what you see is, and most sources aren't going to be willing to do that, because then people in the village are going to know who they are because they just brought in the Americans, right? So most of the time what they're going to do is they're going to, be it on phone call or whatever, notify the team that the target is there on site, okay? The intel is there. We don't need somebody to walk us onto the compound. I've never heard of anything like that. Maybe that's the way the SEALs do it, but I doubt it. Maybe there's some SEALs that'll be in the comment section that could clear that up, but that doesn't make any sense already, okay? So he then says, okay, they have the source there, that Jocko, who's the team leader, then decides to just shoot the source in the face. Okay, you've already met the source, you know he's your source, and again, through mission planning, what he talks about, they literally had it in the plan to meet the source at that location. I've never heard of anything this just wazoo. Like, the team leader just decides to shoot the source in the face because, okay, well, and let's like really hone in on what he says there. He shoots him in the face, basically. How do you basically shoot someone in the face, right? Did he kill this dude or not? Okay, so again, the source was supposed to take them onto the target. It's all in the plan, and we just willy-nilly shot him. Okay, here's where, okay, that, again, who knows what's true, guys, but like, that makes zero sense. That story sounds completely, pardon my French, fucking made up out of thin air. Okay, but again, maybe it happened. I don't know. I doubt it. But let's say, let's go into it. Here's the real accusation. It comes here at the end, okay? He says Jocko decides to just shoot this guy in the face, and he says then, specifically, and I quote, Jocko shot him because he, Jocko, said he was going to do it. He was going to kill somebody, right? Not that this guy was a threat, just to make a name for himself. Guys, that is an accusation of first-degree premeditated murder. That's what that is, okay? He's saying he planned on going out on target and killing someone just to make a name for himself, okay? This guy was not only a non-combatant, he was an allied source. This is straight up murder, guys. This isn't even a war crime, okay? Compare this to what Gallagher was being charged with, which was basically the death of a detainee, right? That's an enemy combatant that died while in your care. This is 10 times worse than that, guys. So he's basically accusing, again, he's accusing Jocko of first-degree murder. This is a wild, wild thing to do on a podcast. if guys, if it's me and I'm Jocko, right? You know, I'm probably like spinning the lawyers up. Like this is insane levels of defamation, right? If, you know, whether it's true, I don't know. But where are the other witnesses to this? Okay, I could tell you, for me personally, if I was out on a mission and this happened and our team leader just shot our allied source in the face for no reason, there would be massive fallout, guys. Like, dudes aren't just going to be like, cool, man, like, got him. No, because one, you just compromised the mission. You just ruined the mission. Now we don't have our source. Now we don't know where we're going, apparently, because they needed him, right? None of it makes any sense. Okay, so, again, I'm not here to call Deming here a liar, but I can tell you that this story is so far-fetched that is almost impossible for me to believe this is how this panned out and this is what Jocko did. Again, I don't know. These are accusations, but For me personally, guys, this sounds like bullshit. And this sounds like this guy's trying to make a name for himself off the back of Jocko. Again, Mr. Deming, I don't know you. Maybe you're telling the truth, but this story don't make any sense, brother. Yeah, so, you know, again, I'm getting really tired of seeing this. You know, it's one thing if, you know, we're talking about things that are happening, you know, and things guys potentially are doing in public spaces or like doing in civilian life or whatever, but like this whole thing where we're trying to trash guys' combat like history, just stop, dudes. Like, go sit down, have a conversation, hash this out in private, man. Like, this is terrible for the soft community, okay? And me personally, maybe I'm a little biased. I like Jocko. I think that he is a really solid representation of soft soldier from what I can tell, right? My perspective. I don't know him personally. I don't know any of these stories. I wasn't there on the ground. But I think he represents himself very well, and he carries himself well. And he's inspirational to a ton of people, including young men who are coming up to want to be SEALs and Green Berets and things like that. So, buddy, I hope you've got the receipts to back up what you're saying, because if you don't, I have a feeling that you're going to be facing some serious trouble coming up soon. So anyway, guys, I don't usually do videos on Tuesday. I just came straight back from the gym, but I saw this clip and was so blown away that I feel like let's get it out to you guys right now, because it just dropped an hour ago. Okay, so maybe he said this somewhere else. I don't know. I haven't seen it on the other shows, but this one was super intense. Again, shout out to the dudes over at the Team House podcast. Super good dudes, and have a great show. Probably I'm gonna watch that full episode now, because whew, that's a yikes, guys. This is I have a feeling this is gonna be sort of the first hour of what turns into be something super serious later. So all right, dudes, take care.